Okay, gift and curse with gestational diabetes. I thought I was doing the right things because I was eating fruit. I wasn't eating a lot of fast food. I wasn't eating heavy carbs, but there is carbs in everything. Watermelon has like one of the highest sugar contents. So does grapes. And I had a craving. It was real bad for homemade smoothies. And I would do sorbet with grapes and watermelon as like my dessert instead of eating cookies, cake, and brownies, which I also love too. I love banana pudding, all the things. So because I was trying to wean myself off of eating a lot of carbs in that way, I didn't realize I was taking in a lot of sugar. Or when I would eat my meals, especially like let's say I went to Chick-fil-A and got a salad, grilled chicken salad, Cobb salad, whatever, I would also get a lemonade. And that lemonade has 38 grams of carbs in it. And with gestational diabetes, you have to count your carbs. So essentially, like in the morning, for breakfast and for your snacks, you can have under like 25 grams. For dinner, you can have under 45 grams. But if I'm drinking my carbs and you're drinking, like they always say, you're drinking your calories, it's really not even about the calories, it's about the carbohydrates. And as soon as I changed my diet and I went to the class and I got the information and I really started to think about it, my weight drastically dropped while I was pregnant. So my baby was still growing, and while my baby's growing, I'm now losing weight. Now, my baby's growing small. So, because my baby's growing small and I have gestational diabetes, it's confusing everybody. Me, the perinatal specialist, my OBGYN, everybody's confused, but I also have fibroids. I have a fibroid the size of an orange. So, my baby was blessed enough to get his head past the fibroid, or I was going to have a cesarean. Now, with that being said, it was going to be difficult for me to have a cesarean because of where the fibroid is. It's on that line. So now they're making sure that, I have enough blood. There's so much going on. So when people don't tell you about their pregnancy and they look like they're happy-go-lucky, a lot of times we're just trying to survive, literally survive. So this whole process, my husband has been really great. He's away for work. So I've been with my mom, who has been my rock through this whole entire situation. And I'm in the doctor's office twice a week. So I go see my OBGYN every Monday, and then I go see the perinatal specialist, which is essentially a doctor who's had 4 more years of practice in like high risk pregnancies. And being over the age of 35, I'll be 37 in August. I see my baby all the time. I see my baby on 3D scans. I see the growth of my baby. So to have gestational diabetes and hear that your baby went from the 24th percentile to the 5th percentile in growth wise, it's very stressful. But he's getting the nutrients. He's growing like he's supposed to. It's just he's not growing at the rate they want to. So I'm having to constantly monitor my hydration, what I eat more protein, but don't eat too much because you have to just monitor everything. It's, again, not just about what you're eating. It's when you're eating it, how you're eating it. Are you eating proteins with a carbohydrate, which will balance your sugar levels out? I'm not on insulin. I'm monitoring mine with diet. So a lot of times you think that the way that your body used to process and break down sugars before will be the same when you get pregnant, but sometimes it's not. So walking more, exercising more, getting sleep, making sure you use the bathroom, all of those things matter when you're doing this. So it's just small changes you need to make to your diet. When I eat bread now, I eat whole grain, whole wheat with protein in it. When I eat apples, I make sure I eat peanut butter. When I make smoothies, I make sure there's protein in there so that there's a balance. So I say a gift and a curse because it taught me really more about the nutritional aspect. I knew about the working out. I know how I got to where I wanted to be. I did that with fasted cardio and I did with intermittent fasting. But when you're pregnant, you have to feed your body for your baby. Everything you do when you're pregnant is for your child. So that way when the child comes, then you need to focus on you and getting back to you, which is super important. So that's my tidbit. I know it's kind of long. I know I don't get on here and talk about it, but it's just so many things that women go through, and it's just a beautiful experience. And I never thought I was gonna have kids. I am one and done. Some people are built for this. I am not, but I'm excited to bring my baby boy here. So if y'all have any more questions, ask away. I'm going to start doing these more rapidly because we are getting towards the end. And I have a date to get induced because, again, with gestational diabetes, they really particularly don't want you to go all the way 40 weeks. And baby, I was going to wrap that up anyway. So yeah, y'all have a good day. Bye.